Tired of cold showers and discolored water? Then call the water heater experts at Pipe Wrench Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Voted best plumbing in Knoxville 7 years in a row. Whether you need emergency water heater repairs or replacements for traditional tank style or tankless water heaters, our certified technicians will restore your hot water in no time. So call or book your appointment online today at pipewrench.com. And as always, same-day service guaranteed or the visit's free.
All right, good morning. Happy Monday, everybody. How was the weekend? Did you have a good weekend? Hopefully. If you didn't join me here this past weekend, hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you had a chance to get out and enjoy some water. Tried to stay as cool as you possibly could. We did some paddleboarding this weekend. I did some pickleballing this weekend. And we did lots of laundry and chores this weekend as well. Ain't nobody like that. Right? Nobody likes that. But it's got to be done. And one thing we did this weekend, we're teaching our kids some more chores. They're 10 and 12. They need to up the ante a little bit. So I taught my kids how to load the dishwasher last night. They didn't like it. They know how to unload the dishwasher. Now it's time for them to learn how to load the dishwasher. Right? So now we can get done with dinner and say, guys, have at it. Mom and dad are out. We cooked dinner. We made dinner. We made the money to cook dinner. It's your turn, my friends. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'll get a great time lapse to share with you from yesterday. This is from Fort Loudon Dam, and you're going to see the convection and the storms firing up across the plateau where we saw the majority of the rain yesterday. Take a look. We started off nice and quiet. Ooh, a couple birds there. Watch this. You'll see a lot of boaters out there on Fort Loudon Dam. Here we go. Afternoon heat starts to build. The convection layer starts going. Here we go. Clouds start bubbling up just like a pot of boiling water. And then eventually, we're going to get a couple of those to really kick past that into the buoyancy air. There's one thunderstorm right there. There's a couple more thunderstorms. Ooh, there it is. Pretty cool stuff right there, huh? Pretty cool stuff right there. And a live look now at Fort Loudon Dam. Overcast skies. A little bit of fog hanging out with us this morning. We've got a cold front on the way, by the way. And this cold front's going to help to spill in a little bit better coverage of showers and thunderstorms. Good morning, Julie, Rachel, Cheryl, Katrina, Miranda, Eva, Katrina, and Denise. All first to the chat this morning. Any men out there this morning? Any men? Hello, men. Where are you? Good morning, ladies. How are you? All right, let's go ahead and get to work. Let's start you off with the temperatures. The almanac from yesterday. I always like to keep you in check of where I stand forecasting-wise. Why? I don't know. Just helps me keep in check. I was forecasting yesterday 91. We made it to 92, so not too bad. All right, we picked up 1/100th of an inch of rain officially at McKee-Tyson Airport. One whopping 1/100th of an inch of rain. 300ths in Crossville, 1700ths in Chattanooga, and nothing in Tri-Cities, but parts of the Cumberland Plateau saw some pretty good showers and thunderstorms. All right, let me show you the big picture, because as we've been talking about over the last couple of days, we've got a trough swinging our way. So this is our next rainmaker. So this is a future cast from this morning through tomorrow night, just to show you how this trough is going to be digging into the southeastern U.S. What does that mean? That means it's going to drag a cold front through. Well, let's air quote it. Cold front through the area because, and as the cold front comes through, remember cold fronts act like a little bulldozer. We got a lot of humid, unstable air. When you force that air to rise, you get rain. And we talked about this past week in precipitable water. Remember that conversation? Precipitable water. What does that mean? The amount of moisture that could possibly precipitate out of the atmosphere. If you could, the higher that number is, the heavier the rain showers that we can anticipate. Today and tomorrow, even more elevated, heavier rain than what we saw over the past weekend. Radar recap, there's the cold front to our north and northwest. Nothing going on across the state right now. Really not much in Kentucky and nothing to our south. But that's going to be the cold front that's sleeping. That's the cold front that's sleeping in. I'm reading your comment as I'm talking. That's the cold front that's going to be sleeping in. That's just what happens, right? Morning, Katrina. Yeah, all the men are sleeping in. Any men? No. Oh, we got Mark on there. Yay, Mark from Corrington. There we go. Good morning, Mark. How are you, bud? Thanks for joining me. It was an all-ladies show for a hot minute. And by the way, if you're joining on the app, welcome through the East Tennessee Weather Platform. All right, here are your weather headlines. Today and tomorrow, cold front brings us widespread rainfall. Not as widespread today as it will be tomorrow. Today is still going to be a little bit more isolated in nature, if you will, but I think we could potentially see a little bit more rain, so we'll see how this all plays out. Again, make sure you scan that QR code, go to the App Store, go to the website, download the East Tennessee Weather app. I posted on social media last night. One of my favorite alerts from the app is the lightning alert that gives you lightning notifications when it's within 15 miles of your area, as long as you have your location services turned on, not set to your house, right? Which then you go open it up, and if you didn't know, if you click on that lightning alert, it takes you to the interactive radar. Then all you have to do is push play, gives you past, current, and a future radar based on what's going on right now. So if you get a lightning alert, it doesn't necessarily mean that storms are moving into your area. It just means lightning's within your area. Storm could be moving away. It could be moving in. Who knows, right? But that's what's great. So, and some lady on social media, some woman said, I'm going to start pushing that button now. I didn't know it did that. Did you know if you clicked on that notification that it took you to the interactive radar? All right, Wednesday, Thursday, relief from the high humidity, and it's going to be dry. Although I know some of you are like, now at this point of the game, you're like, I need rain. Well, hopefully you get rain tomorrow. I think everybody has a good shot for some rain showers tomorrow. But the 4th of July weekend, we're going to see increasing heat, humidity, with a chance for some isolated storms to fire up across the area. So we'll keep you posted on that, see how it all plays out. But I think, listen, we've had a lot of 4th of Julys together, right? Over the years, there have been some that have been not so great. This one, I think, is going to be fantastic. This morning, it's on the warm side. We start the day with temperatures in the 60s and the 70s, which is, by the way, a little bit warmer than yesterday morning if you happen to be up early yesterday morning. And our dew points are now in the 60s and mostly low 70s. So the humidity is going to gradually pick up today and tomorrow as this trough starts to scoop up more moisture and pumps it our way. So it's going to be rather uncomfortable here over the next couple of days, plus dew point-wise, humidity-wise. But we're not talking about extreme heat like we've already seen so far this season. Lunchtime temperatures will be in the mid-80s. As we get into the afternoon, we're talking highs back to those seasonal averages. Average highs for this time of the year are in the upper 80s. So we'll go upper 80s to low 90s. That's solid average day. Dew points are now in the 70s, so that's going to kick that heat index value today in the mid to upper 90s to near 100. Could have 100 degrees across parts of the Sequatchie Valley. So Pikeville, Dunlap, Whitwell, heads up. Even Soddy Daisy, Dayton, and Spring City could be pushing close to 100 degrees. If you want to beat the heat, of course, you got to head higher in elevation. There we go. Peter Cooper is here this morning. Another man joining us this morning. Welcome, Peter. Welcome. So Mark got 87 hundredths of an inch of rain yesterday in Corrington. Peter got a quick 83 hundredths of an inch of rain at your house in Johnson City. Nice. At least you're getting a little bit of rain. Some of us have not gotten a lot. I have not gotten a lot at my house over the last. I've not gotten a lot over the last week. And so the grass is starting to turn a little bit dry. So we need some moisture, and I don't have a sprinkler system. All right, here's your future cast. We pick up our timeline this morning, 6 o'clock, running you through the lunchtime. As we get into the lunch hour, not much activity. Maybe a couple of showers starting to develop across the mountains, but it's shortly after the lunch hour that we're going to start to see those storms fire up. And again, the Western Valley and the Cumberland Plateau have the best chance, but notice the motion of these. They are going to be, they're going to have a little bit more movement than the last couple of days. And they'll come in from the south and west. And that's a southwesterly flow. You can see those wind arrows. That's the southwesterly flow ahead of the cold front that will eventually head our way or swing through tomorrow. Rainfall forecast through 10 o'clock here tonight. Again, not everybody gets the rainfall for the day today. But if you do, there's a chance for some extremely heavy rain. So once again today, the Weather Prediction Center has put us under a level 1 risk for localized flooding and flash flooding concerns. I'm going about a 40 to 60% chance of rain today. Tomorrow, we'll elevate that to an 80 to 100% chance as the trough swings on in. I think that's going to give us our best chance, our best shot for everybody to actually get in on some of this action. And then look at Wednesday, Thursday, even Friday. 4th of July is on Friday. So I've taken out the 20% chance of rain that I had over the weekend for Wednesday, Thursday. I've dropped it down to a 10% on Friday. The only reason I'm keeping that on Friday is just as a CYB. Listen, it's summertime. Humidity is going to start to increase. It's 4th of July. We typically see Mother Nature fireworks on the 4th of July. Although it doesn't appear to be a whole lot, I still think that there is a chance for maybe an isolated storm or two. Not a big deal, right? Not a big deal at all. Somebody may be unfortunate if this were to take place. But I do think about a 20% chance for some afternoon thunderstorms over the weekend. But either way, you slice it and dice it. And if you're slicing watermelon, I love watermelon because it is the 4th of July, it is going to be a solid weekend. All right, let me show you the big picture. Here's our future cast. We're going to just show you the synoptic scale, how this all plays out over the next 2 days. Cold front approaches, scoops up the moisture. Here it comes. We'll kind of quiet the atmosphere down overnight tonight. Cold front's going to still be to our west by tomorrow morning. And then that trough starts to dig its way to the southeast, and that's going to kick in the showers. Some of the latest model guidance has the heaviest rain over on the eastern side of the Appalachians. And then behind that frontal boundary, high pressure builds on in. And that's going to give us some sunshine. A little bit of a northwesterly flow back behind the front, and that's going to help to draw in some drier air. So if you have travel plans, it is vacation season. Maybe you're heading on vacation for the 4th of July. This is what it looks like around the region. Afternoon showers and thunderstorms. No major severe weather threat, although we do have a chance for a few isolated strong thunderstorms around the area, and that should be about it. Again, don't take those numbers to heart. Again, with these afternoon thunderstorms, convection, summertime storms, it's really hard to pinpoint exactly where and who will get the heaviest rain. Here's what I've done here. A lot of information on the screen. Let me break it down. So we got heat index values and dew points on there. I know I typically show you these as separate graphics, but I wanted to put them together here for a reason. And the reason why is because as dew points climb, temperatures climb, heat index climbs. Now, I know our dew points will be higher on Tuesday at 75 versus today, but we have a higher heat index value today. That's because we're going to have more clouds and better chance for rain tomorrow. That's it. It is going to be muggy, but we're not going to have that abundant sunshine to really give us that the apparent temperature that feels like it's going to be down a little bit. Now we're not going to be really dealing with much of a heat index value Wednesday, Thursday, because look at our dew points. We're in the mid to upper 60s. That's that drier air. Let me just give it a shout. All right. But notice the dew point, 68 on Friday, 70 on Saturday, 72 on Sunday. Remember that ridge is going to start to build, so temperatures come up. Therefore, our heat index value comes up. It's a relationship, right? Higher humidity, more sunshine, hotter temperatures, higher heat index values. So it is going to be a toasty, roasty 4th of July, but what else would you expect? It is the 4th of July, which still is mind-blowing to me that we're already here. All right, here's your 7-day forecast. We'll break this down. 89 today, 86 tomorrow. Back into the upper 80s to near 90 Wednesday, Thursday, which is average, and it's going to feel solid. A good solid average June to, well, no, I guess that would be July. That would technically be July. July week ahead of us, Wednesday, Thursday. Then the heat builds into the low 90s Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Remember, the dew points climb. Heat index values pushing close to 100. And therefore, with you have higher humidity, even though we don't have any major disturbances on the way, we are still talking about the potential for an isolated afternoon shower or thunderstorm. And that's it. I mean, we have something really to be thankful for, in my personal opinion. Really something to be thankful for. All right, so I don't know if you saw it on social media here this weekend. We're going to go through Witcher's pictures. Anybody uploaded any new photos to the East Tennessee Weather app, we're going to share those. We have your national holidays coming up here as well here for in just a second. But I wanted to share something with you. See if I can find it. If you missed the post on social this weekend, social is always quiet over the weekend unless there's active weather, which I get it. You're out playing. You should. Checking on the app. That's what the app is for. You don't need to come to social media. I'd prefer to be off social media if I could, right? I think some of you probably would too. But some fantastic news to pass along from East Tennessee Weather. And let me just share it for you right here. You can now hear East Tennessee Weather and my forecast with my good longtime friends, Ashley and Roger, on B97.5. This, my friends, is huge for this platform. Really letting you know that I'm here for you. So thank you so much to everybody over at B97.5. I love you guys. Thanks for believing in everything that I'm doing and allowing me to now provide you your forecast. And you know that B97.5 is like in every, I feel like every retail store out there in East Tennessee. So cheers to you, and cheers to me, and cheers to East Tennessee weather, because I wouldn't be able to do it without you. And I said that this past weekend. So if you didn't join this past weekend, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of your support. Shall we? Let's take you to a different camera view. We'll show you what it looks like in downtown Clinton this morning. Yeah, overcast skies right now. So again, like I said, we're not going to see as much sunshine today as what we saw yesterday, but there is better weather on the way. All right, of course, it's June 30th. Wow, it's June 30th. That's just weird to say. We're celebrating birthdays and events. Any events going on here this upcoming week? Or, of course, we have a major event, right? Our birthdays coming up. This is all of our birthdays coming up. Our birthdays coming up this weekend. But we're celebrating birthdays and events. So hopefully, if you have a birthday, give a big shout out to all of your birthday friends, or give them a shout out here so I can give them a shout out. Thanks for all the support, everybody. Yeah. Oh, you guys are awesome. Isn't that great news, Jason? It is awesome for sure. And I just got a text from Ashley Adams. She goes, "Oh my goodness, you sound so good." And Roger says, "Welcome back to the family, my friend." So we're texting. We're texting on the side. And you'll be able to hear me do some live broadcasts on B97.5 every once in a while. I have a lot more time to join them on their show, which I used to do back in the day. And it was so fun. I love doing live radio talkbacks. It's just so much fun. I do a lot with Bob Bell over at Joy, Joy 620, WRJZ. And the Bob Bell Show. So Bob always calls me. He's been on vacation all last week, so he'll probably call me this week. And we'll talk about his vacation. We'll talk about the storm, so you can always join there. All right, moving right along. Cole, it's National OOTD Day. Wait, no. No. There we go. That's the one I want. My buttons aren't labeled. What is National OOTD Day? Let's find out what this is. I have no idea. Models? I'm going to say models. Are we doing models here? On June 30th, National OOTD Day gives us an opportunity to express ourselves and document our personal style by sharing our outfit. Okay, outfit of the day. OOTD. Outfit of the day today on social media. You going to share your outfit of the day on social media with me? Maybe we could have some fun on social. That's what social's good for, is having fun. But never rely on it, remember, for active or constant weather. Sometimes you'll get a post from 3 days ago. Doesn't do you any good, right? You got to come to social media to really understand what's going on and watch it, or come to my profile. But get ready to express your best self by sharing your OOTD, your outfit of the day that makes you feel beautiful or handsome. For you gentlemen out there. All right, it's social media day. Didn't really see that one coming, although I did glance down at it. It's social media day. All right, what would we do without social media? I don't know. Social media day is observed annually on June 30th. It's in its short life, pretty short, right? Social media has redefined how people interact, communicate, and share with family, friends, and the world. It's true. I never made it to my high school reunions, the 10 or 20 year. Sorry, that just hurt my head saying 20-year reunion. Anyways, I never made it. It was a long flight. I didn't have any money, this, that, and the other. And I was like, well, I see these people on social media every day. I kind of know what they're doing. I know what they look like. I know how they've changed. I see their families. I see their vacations. And so I was like, I didn't need to waste the money at that point of the game. But with the launch of Friendster, do you guys remember Friendster? in 2002 and MySpace in 2003. I do remember MySpace. I had a cool MySpace page. And actually, that's how I first stalked my wife. Stalked. Let's get the air quotes in there. Stalked. Was on MySpace. She wouldn't respond to me. And so I went over to Facebook and found her on Facebook. And I responded to her. I said, listen, I've got a girlfriend. You've got a boyfriend. Let's just go have dinner together. You're from Colorado. I'm from Colorado. You're really cute. So we went to dinner together. And the rest is history. We broke up with our significant others like literally the next day. Got engaged 3 months later. And married a year later to the date that we met. All because of social media. So there you go. What would we do without social media? In 2004, brought the founding of the king of social media, Facebook. Twitter, now X, encouraged us to be succinct by posting our thoughts with fewer than 140 characters, now 280. When we express ourselves better than through imagery. Instagram and Flickr offer all the sharing we can handle. And speaking of video, TikTok and YouTube are the social place for everything from how to pop culture to what not to do with your fireworks on the 4th of July. And did you know that YouTube is the number 2 search engine behind Google? Number 2 search engine. And Roku TV is the number 2 behind YouTube on streaming TV. And guess where East Tennessee weather is? All of the above. All the time. All right, it's National Meteor Watch Day. I mean, well, we just saw that the other day with that meteor coming down from the sky. That was pretty cool. We all saw that probably on social media, so that was really cool to see. And realize that unless it hits the ground, it's called a meteor. When it hits the ground, it's called a meteorite. We showed you downtown Clinton. Now let's take you to Fox Road Marina. Want to hit the lakes today? It's not going to be bad. It's going to be warm. It's muggy. So great weather to do so there, but not necessarily suntan city, at least not first thing this morning. I think this little morning batch of clouds should break up a little bit. We'll see some sunshine before the afternoon clouds start to build their way back in. And did you see? Okay, I got to tell a funny story. Okay, so on Edgemore, what is it? Not the Bull Run Steam Plant, right? Anyways, why am I pulling a blank? It's not Bull Run, right? Is it Bull Run? Maybe it's Bull Run Steam Plant. Anyways, correct me if I'm wrong. What was the song on your MySpace profile page? Oh boy, I don't know. Jeez, I don't know. That's a good one though. Remember that? I had a cool video that I edited of me skiing and stuff like that. That was always playing at the top of my MySpace page. Anyways, funny story. So when we ever go on Edgemore to go to Aspire in Clinton as a family, we always go by the plant, right? And my youngest son always calls it the Cloud Factory. The Cloud Factory. And so for the last several days, I've been meaning to show him the video. I was like, buddy, you're going to be so sad. You're going to be so sad the Cloud Factory is no more. So I showed him the video last night. He was like, cool story, bro. He wasn't that affected by it. At first, he was like, wait, what? And then he was fascinated by the video. And then he was like, okay, I'm good. And speaking of which, that's the same son who has built me. Look at this. I asked for an East Tennessee weather bracelet because, the app is black, orange, and white, which is also UT colors, of course, too. But look at my son's been making a ton of bracelets like all weekend long. He's made like probably, I don't know, 100 different bracelets with all these little rubber bands. He made this little bracelet for me. Is that not cool? That's pretty cool. So, son, I'm going to wear it every day until I lose it. And I hope to not lose it. Right? Let's hope that I don't lose it. That would be a sad story. Although I did already lose one in the lakes. And so when we went to the lake this weekend, I was like, dude, I can't wear this to the lake. He's like, why, Dad? I said, because I don't want to lose it. I value this. This is awesome. Love it. Let's share a couple Witcher's pictures, shall we? This one is a cool one coming in from Barb Miller, Townsend, Tennessee sunset. Ooh, that's a good one for sure. David Weaver. David Weaver is a good friend of mine. How about this? Nice little cell structure on that thunderstorm. He says on that one, which, by the way, don't forget when you do upload pictures to Witcher's Pictures to give me as much information as possible. He says in halls looking southwest towards the Knoxville area. And then, of course, my good friend Lisa Gibson, always sharing some great photos with the East Tennessee Weather app and Witcher's Pictures. And that's a good one. She says on this one, Seymour. This was yesterday in Seymour. And then Peter's using the East Tennessee Weather app. Proud of you, buddy. Thanks for joining me. But that's that gully washer he just told us about, where he picked up 83 hundredths of an inch of rain from that storm. Solid, Peter. Thanks for sharing that, by the way. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff right there. And again, I can't stress enough, if you don't have the app, download the app. I promise you, and I've changed a couple things on the app. You may notice that throughout the day today. I've kind of reordered a couple things. I've had some questions and comments and concerns, or rather constructive criticism. And because of that, I built this platform for you, as I always say. I didn't build it for me. I built it for you. And so because of that, I have changed a couple things. Let me know. If you use the app, let me know if you like the order that things are currently in. I feel like that you just want to come to the app, you want to get the information. And, of course, all the advertisers will be rotating through the app constantly. And don't forget to give support to all the local advertisers that are supporting this another small business. Lots of cool stuff coming our way, by the way. Lots of cool stuff coming by our way. Don't forget, I'm on Roku TV, Fire, Amazon Fire, website, app, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Go smash and subscribe to that YouTube button. That's at East TN Weather. We're at Mike Witcher TV. We're at East Tennessee Weather. All of the above will get you to where you need to be going. But really, don't rely on social media for weather information. Just don't. And make sure that your app has your GPS location services on. If you're going on vacation, you don't have to keep it on all the time, but just know that you won't get alerts if the app is not traveling with you. And if you're concerned about that, just understand that our cell phones are tracking us every single day. I'm not tracking you. The app is. I don't care. I don't see all that information per se. And our cell phones are tracking us anyway. So, I mean, we just have to, that's just the nature of what it is, right? So, anyways, hey, it's Monday. It's a holiday week. It's going to be a great week. And I sure hope you have a great week. Of course, we'll be broadcasting Monday through Friday at 6 a.m., Saturday and Sunday at 8 a.m. as we wrap up this week and head into the holiday weekend. The weather is going to be perfect. Grab the umbrellas and track the rain over the next couple of days as this cold front approaches. Have a great day. Be safe. Be kind to each other. Life is short. See you tomorrow.